morning, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Damn That's Tight Real Estate Advice. I'm your host and best friend in real estate, Scott B, and we have a jam-packed show. Run the footage. Louisiana's getting real legal around here. Louisiana and 9 other states have filed a lawsuit against the federal government, including the Department of Homeland Security and FEMA, to prevent significant increases in national flood insurance rates. The states argue that these rate hikes could result in financial. Louisiana officials are particularly concerned that FEMA's premium system does not consider flood protection measures, such as raising housing rates and levee construction. And they also have been denied access to the data and methodology used to calculate the new rates. And congratulations, South. You did it. Congrats, South. The spring season, when people usually buy homes, has been a bit slow this year, if you haven't heard, compared to all the previous years before. Now, it's not because people don't want to buy homes, but there aren't enough homes available for sale. This can make it harder for people to find a home that they can afford. However, the good news, the great news, is that new homes are being built and some regions in the country are selling more homes than others. Overall, the South, baby, number one. The South has been doing well in the terms of the home sales, specifically Louisiana, while other regions have seen a decline compared to the past. So one good thing about the Louisiana market is that while things are happening around us, we usually stay the same. No changes typically. Everybody else is doing this. Louisiana's putt, coasting along. Now, staying with the whole buyer route, now it's important for home shoppers to make sure that their real estate agent, their home buying experts, are helping them to the full service that they deserve. So, home shoppers, make sure your realtors are not engaging in some of the following activities. Just making sure they're not skimming over the MLS listings. Now, the MLS is like the real estate version of Zillow. It's just a little bit more information, a little bit more detailed. Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, some of these other platforms, they have incorrect information. Now, the MLS is where we get our information from, and home buyers should be making sure that real estate agents are scanning it religiously, looking for errors, making sure nothing is messing up. But before actually going to view the property, make sure your real estate agent reads the disclosures very carefully. You don't want to get into the house and find out there's no roof. Huh? Look at it. Speaking of roof, shout out Giat Roofing for all your roofing needs. If there are any significant issues with the home, you should actually be informed beforehand. And each actual house should have a disclosure sent by the seller. It's basically Cliff Notes, a highlight reel of everything about the property that they should have. So make sure your real estate agent reaches out to the sellers and gets that information. The second thing that you need to make sure your real estate agent is doing when buying a home in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, is make sure they're not presenting an offer poorly. They represent you. They're working on your behalf. Take the time and review and understand each section of the offer. If your realtor skips section, uses confusing language, or appears unclear about what crucial step, it's in your best interest to be thorough. Make sure it's crystal clear. Use definite words. All parties agree. No coulda, woulda, shouldas in there. It is the seller agrees to, the buyer agrees to do this. We talk in definites. All right, and the third thing you need to make sure your real estate agent is doing, they're not presenting unreliable offers. So first one is make sure it's not written poorly. Now we're gonna make sure it's not an unreliable offer, which means that in a competitive market, some buyers might get caught up in the excitement or making an aggressive bid only to backtrack later on. You jump in, crawfish out, very common. All right, if your real estate agent is pushing you to make an offer that you know exceeds your budget, hey, I can only spend $500,000. I don't want to spend $1 million. All right, ensure that you can actually support the actual offer that you're submitting. Otherwise, your real estate agent should advise you against it. So, look, if your budget is $350,000, don't go looking at properties that are $350,000 and above. You don't want to be house broke, and you don't want to be broke. Now, coming across this a lot of activity in the home shopping market. Some people are first-time home buyers. Some people are finally making that decision, but they have a little bit of concerns about their credit, So maybe you want to buy, maybe your credit won't let you. Here are a few things to help monitor, correct, and maintain great credit, which everybody can use. You have good credit, you don't have great credit. There we go. 7 steps to increasing your credit by your best friend in real estate, Scott Beatty, and list reports. So number one is to actually just stay on top of it. Know what your credit score is right now. Do you know what your credit score is? Not your FICO credit score. Everybody gives you a different type of credit score. If you're talking about for a mortgage loan, lenders have their own credit score. All right, so what your credit card's telling you is going to be different than what your lender's going to be telling you. So have a little conversation with the local lender. They're going to be happy to do a soft pull for you. They'll let you know what your credit score is. But it's good to know where you're at, so how you can work and how you can improve it. Number two, when you're looking at a credit report, they'll give you this. Whenever you're looking at a credit report, you see some errors. Hold up, Amex, $12,000 bucks. I don't owe $12,000 bucks at Amex. I paid that already. Or I paid this blah, blah, blah. So if you see errors, you can actually dispute them and fix them early. Go ahead and look correct, because sometimes it takes a little time. It's easy, but it's time consuming. Making a bunch of phone calls, getting delayed, getting pushed back. You want to make sure that you get every error fixed. Number three, pay your bills. Pay your bills on time. That's very easy. Pay your bills on time. Number four, keep credit usage under 30%. You get $100,000 in credit, only use 30 grand or under, baby. That's easy. 30% or under. Now, any actual outstanding debt that you currently have, pay it down. That's what you need to start doing. Focus on paying down all your debt right now, because debt to income is a thing. And once you pay down your debts, number six is make sure you do not close out those accounts. One of the main things that your mortgage company is going to look at is how long people have trusted you to borrow money. You keep it open because it's your track record. Length of credit is better than shortness of credit. So you've been trusted with an American Express card for 15 years. You don't just cancel it after you paid it all off. No, you're in it. Keep all your credit accounts as long as you can. As long as you can. And then avoid activating new accounts, of course, just because new accounts, a little curious, taking out all this debt, why? Old accounts good, new accounts bad. Now, this is becoming one of the more popular segments of Damn That's Tight Real Estate Advice, but here's news that you can use, news that's not important. So we've already talked about Drake, but let's go over some of the top celebrity buys and sells that you might not care about or you might care about. So Drake actually lists and sells his $88 million mansion. Congratulate Drizzy. Taylor Swift is running her New York townhouse for a cool $44,000 a month. What a bargain. Brad Pitt, okay? Brad Pitt sells his Hollywood Hills estate for $33 million. Good job, Brad. And then bad girl Riri, Rihanna, she buys Matthew Perry's old LA penthouse for a cool $21 million. If you have any questions or concerns or need anything regarding real estate, click on one of the links below. I'd be happy to set up a call. Beep, 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 beep. And that's all for today's Damn That's Tight Real Estate Advice. I'm your host and best friend in real estate, Scott B. Have a blessed day.